right, guys, so welcome to the April 2025 results meeting. Excited about our first meeting here as an independent agency. So let's get started here. All right, so how did we do? We're going to go over the winners, and afterwards we're going to go over how to overcome adversity. So how do we do? Best month ever. What do we end up with? 925. All right, so let's give it up for ourselves. It's something I wasn't really paying attention to with everything that was going on. I was just doing my thing, and all of a sudden the numbers were just like up there. So I was really surprised. But thank you guys for really holding it down without really needing me to be so involved in the sales process. It's pretty cool to see how far we've gone, where I felt like I always have to be like in the chat, like, great job, like, hey, like, you know, if I with the win, like, oh, that's 3. Like, me being involved, I thought was like worth so much. But it's right? I thought like, man, I'm bringing value. But I got so busy, I didn't have the chance to really get involved or do any sales training or do any like feedback or anything. Like, I was in the morning huddles and stuff. But you guys really just hold it down, and us having our best month ever, 490 policies. It's just amazing to see. We had 3 months where we went down to start the year. January was good, but February and March went down. So we were saying we can't have, another month going down the other way. So we just came back in a real way. We did 110K more in March. That's a lot more policies. And 490 policies, the insight here I got was like, even though it was our best month ever with 925, that policy count isn't our best month ever. So that just shows you that we're just writing bigger policies. Premium 1900 average. So we're kind of maintaining our closing ratio, and a lot of things have gotten better, but the premium increasing is helping you guys and helping us. This is something that I fully expected this year, but the rate increases. So it's great to see. And then April of 2024, last year, where we were at, what do you guys think?
700.
624. Okay, 600,000 to now 900,000 for the first time. We're right there at 1 million. We want to do it before Eva goes to maternity break. Okay, so this might be our best chance this month too, but I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. But I'm really excited, and I really just want to thank you guys. All right, so look at the numbers here. So average sales agent went from 24.6 to 26.6. This is not including like Chris, who wasn't here the whole month. So that's a small difference, but that makes such a huge difference, guys. If you sell one more policy a month and if everybody did that, that's the type of difference it can really make. Average sales per day, again, that didn't go up that much again, just showing how much more premium is now. And this is great to see. The average agent, full-time agent, okay, who's here from the 1st to the 30th, is selling 50K now. All right, so let's get up for ourselves for that. A lot of it has to do with like the top agents really going off this month, but just as a team-wise, 50K as an average, that's helpful. You guys got the team bonus too, so congratulations to you guys. So great job there. I wasn't expecting that. I was rooting for you guys, yeah. But I have to look at the big picture and be happy for you guys, because again, you guys really pulled together and motivated each other. And a lot of credit goes to all you guys. But one of the things I really loved about last month is Jackie and America coming up with the DKIA friendly. That's not me. And that's you guys just saying, hey, let's do this, let's motivate each other. And that $10 investment made a big difference for you guys, because that made you guys go crazy. So those are the type of stuff that really shows leadership, and you guys really stepping up for each other and thinking about ways to help each other. So great job, guys. Really, you guys really held it down. So here we go here. The scale here, again, we were going the wrong way. So that's a huge difference here of where we went as far as policy sold wise. 490 is the most we sold all year. Premium wise, even more, 865, 855, 815, 925. All right. So that's a huge difference. It's really a bounce back month. It's just a great way for us to say, hey, we did great for our first month with everything that we went through too. All right, let's get into the winners here. So 5-star agent of the month. I'm excited about changes. I'm excited about changes. And that really gave me a boost of energy and motivation. And that's a meeting that I'll never forget. So thank you guys for that. All right, let's get into the April 2025 winners. We have the 5-star agent of the month. Getting reviews is huge. And we have these agents that really stood out to us as far as getting 5-star reviews. We had 140 in just 1 month. Okay, once again, we could say we have more 5-star reviews than any auto insurance agency in California. Now we have $2,300, 2,300 reviews. And the agent that got the most? Not just Chris, AI Chris. Chris cannot wait till May 21st for the rebranding. This is not his cousin, all right? This is him. Uh-huh.
It's just that it didn't. It's like AI.
Yeah, I said AI, please replace the farmer's logo with the DKIA logo.
Oh, they replaced the whole person.
Yeah. But besides the 6.5 reviews, okay, he did 19,000 in premium for not even working his full month, and just great energy, attitude, and you guys could probably agree, likability.
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so let's get let's go for Chris.
First of all, I want to say thank you, but I was here on the 7th last month, and I was going over these amazing reviews and premium and all these things that you guys were getting little trophies, and I was sitting here and I was like, how can I challenge myself to be there next month? Because obviously I wasn't working the full month, but I think that reviews was one thing that I could have challenged myself, and I kept seeing every week Marty and I going head to head, and I was putting 4 and she was putting 4.5 or 5, and I was like, man, I can't win this. And I just feel like that half of a review that I got with one of the CC from Colombia was the one that helped me win this. But thank you guys.
All right, awesome. That's awesome, Chris. To kind of be in the review last month, the results meeting, and be like, hey, how can I stand out in any category? I think that's a great strategy to be like, there's certain categories, I have to work towards, but some categories you go like, hey, I could go after that one. And to get 6 reviews. So yeah, great job there. All right, great. It's 6.5 reviews, that's incredible. All right, most hours worked here. We got Christian Aurelia 107. So March wasn't a great attendance month. April was a lot better. In fact, compared to March, we worked 423 more hours. Okay, so that makes a big difference, just availability. And that's the way we had a much better month. 6 agents over 100, Alexis, America, Enrique over 100, and then Christian and Aurelia. And the first place finisher for most hours is in this room. Who do we have?
Marty.
Let's get up for Marty. 116%. This is her 3rd month in a row putting the most hours. 31 hours of OT. Okay, so that's $837 just on that. 204 hours total worked. That's just, great work ethic there. We're going to hear more from Marty later, so can't wait to hear from you, Marty. Thank you for your hard work. Most phone calls. We have America and Christian. Great job there making these phone calls here. And the first place finisher for most calls is in this room.
No. Alexis.
That's right. Let's get up for Alexis.
Can I get an AI version of myself?
You want to?
Yes.
This is second time winning this category. 67 more calls than last month. 419 outbound calls. Okay, out of 594, 419 were outbound calls. And outbound calls is something that we're kind of keeping a closer eye on because that really shows how much you're trying to get a hold of your leads. And compared to second place, that was over 100 more than second place. Okay, so making those outbound calls, trying to get a hold of your leads, following up with them, that's something we value, and more on his stats too because it's not just calls. Most phone hours, Mari was 65, okay, makes sense, putting the most hours. Alexis, 66, just beat him by 1 hour. Christian was 67, so Christian, you beat him by 1 hour last month. This month he beat you by 1 hour, so close there. Win-loss ratio results, we have Lupe, Alexis, and Enrique in the top 3 here. Great job, showing tremendous consistency and just winning as many days as possible. Best months ever. How many do you think we have? You would think it would be a lot, right? Because our agency is best months ever. So we actually have 3. That's right, Diana. 3 best months ever, which isn't crazy if you think about it. But that just means that some of you guys are being consistent. And but some of the best month ever numbers are huge. But we do have somebody new here that had her best month ever last month too, and just had $100 in premium more than last month. Who do you think we have here? She beat her best month ever last month by $18. That's right. It's her second full month, and that's all I asked for is to beat your previous month, like just improving every single month. Second attendance is 107, worked 3 Saturdays, okay, and these are 9 to 3 Saturdays, and then the number that really stands out to me for her is 33% closing ratio. So keeping that closing ratio high and doing a great job of having her best month ever. I want to hear from you. What about you guys? Let's get it for Aurelie.
Thank you guys for all the support, like always, helping me out. What can I say? Try to challenge myself all the time, do better. Yeah, that's pretty much all.
Okay, all right. You challenge yourself, all right? And yeah, just getting great start to your career.
Yeah.
But I think we have even higher goals, which I'm really excited to see. And then we have Mari with 88K. I don't know how many times we should hear from her. Should you have her come up every time? No? Okay, we'll save it for later. We have a lot of stats to share, okay? And then also, best month ever, we have someone in this room here. That's right, 100K. And this is something we definitely will get into more too. All right, the Hustler of the Month Award. So I had AI just calculate all the stats. The stats that we're looking at is hours worked, phone calls, and phone hours. And also manual text messages and just quotes. Okay, not counting closing ratio or premium or anything like that. So these are the numbers that I tell the ChatGPT, like this is the 5 categories I want you to grade somebody on. So I didn't have the text messages and the quotes in here. But looking at this, and who did it decide is our Hustler of the Month? That's right, let's get up for Alexis. Congratulations.
Oh, you're leaving at my desk. Yeah, I don't think I did anything different than the previous month or the previous months. I'm just trying to stay constant, and I think just setting the same standard moving forward. I don't expect myself to lower my activity. So if I am in this category, I'm not really surprised. I'm thankful regardless, but I'm gonna just continue working and setting the bar higher for myself. But yeah, I'm thankful to be here.
All right, great job, Alexis. Yeah. Once you set the standard, it's like just why change it, or maybe even raise the bar. So the highest total calls, that was a big one. Okay, outbound calls included 594 calls. Second in text messages, 786 text messages, 129 quotes, and then 66 hours in the phone, and then also 179 total hours. So crushed every metric, consistent volume of calls, texts, and quotes. He just ranked very high, and it's great to see him set an example of the energy that he's bringing to the team. So great job, Alexis, once again.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going into a very important category, most policies sold. We have Diana with 28, Eva with 29. The average was 25, so we want to get that average up because this is a huge metric here of how profitable you guys are for the agency. Eva with 29, great job there. Lupe with 33, and here's the top 3. Alexis with 35.5, Enrique with 44.5. These are really big numbers once you start getting into the 40s. And the first place finisher for most policies sold goes to somebody in this room.
Mari.
Let's clap for Mari. This is 8.5 policies more. The number that really jumps out to me is her closing ratio. What do you guys think it is?
Like we're in the 40s.
39%. That's unbelievable there. Increased 9%. Okay, so her activity, her hours and stuff like that are the same, but that's the difference maker. If you can increase your closing ratio 9%, you're going to be making a lot more money. So yeah, Mari, let's hear from you as far as how you were able to sell more policies. And first, let's present to you most policies sold.
Just keeping in mind, every day in the morning huddle, you ask me how many I want to do every day. And I think just keeping in mind, keeping my 3 in mind daily, or, my 2s or premium, helped me a lot. Just keeping that closing ratio at the end of the day, just making sure that a lot of them were clients that I had quoted like 2-3 months before that, before I closed it. So just to be able to close it right there and then, it was just easy, That was pretty much, I didn't do nothing different, to be honest. Just kept consistent in calling them and texting them, and then they just called back.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Mari. But yeah, it's very true. If you put in a lot of work for 3 months in a row, 4 months in a row, a lot of times it just keeps coming, all that work, the residual effect comes back later. So there is a lot of power of momentum. Like sometimes you work really hard for a month, it's like, nothing that much changed. But then all that work that you put in pays off later. And I think that's something you see from Muddy. And it was just a crazy streak you were on, because we were doing the morning huddle, I was like 3 every day, yesterday 3 again, Saturday 3, like Monday 3, Friday 3. So it was just, it was incredible how you said your goal was 3 every day, and then many days you did it. Incredible month. All right, top tier agents here. We have Lupe. Great job with Lupe. One thing I want to shout out with her is her closing ratio being at 43%. Incredible. If Spady's closing ratio is at high as always, it's 37%. Let's get up for Diana in this room, 57K. Okay, great job with her with 5K in broker fees, 23% closing ratio. And Jackie with 30% closing ratio as well. Trend here, when you see these numbers, is the high agent numbers correlates very much to, quoting. But sometimes some of these agents think they could quote more, but it's the closing ratio. Makes a big difference there in getting to these higher levels. And once again, I also want to thank Jackie. Not only did she get 62, but she kind of led the way in organizing it, and motivating Mari to win the $300. And that kind of was the turning point of our month. First couple weeks, we were just like, hey, not kind of like thinking we're going to just have like another one of those, March months. Second half of the month, everything just turned it around with that contest there. And you guys carry that momentum towards the team bonus. So great job, Jackie, for organizing that. That's the type of stuff I really appreciate. All right, let's get into the third top 3 in most premiums sold. So although it was a team effort, I do want to say, just based on numbers, that the reason we had our best month ever is because our top 3 just took it to a whole nother level. Sometimes top 3 is like 60K, someone 64, agent of the month is like in the 60s and stuff like that. This month, there was a little bit of separation between the top 3, and them take it to a whole nother level. So first person in the top 3, once again, we're going to hear, and I'm really proud of Mari. Let's get up for Mari. So we're actually going to go over the numbers here. She smashed her best month ever, which was January, by 22,000. 45 policies sold, most anybody has sold all year long. Second in tickets with 6. 116% attendance, 30 hours of overtime, 3 Saturdays. First in broker fees, 7,000. Second in retention, 97%. All right, 6 reviews, 39% closing ratio. Commission-wise, she made 9.5% because she got to the baller tier, Alexis's referral, and the T-bonus. So that's a full 1.5% more than the top tier. Commission amount, $5,900. Add that to her broker fee, $800. $6,800. Add that to her base plus the 31 hours of overtime. She made $10,500 last month. I feel like me and her, we really did give it our all last month. We were sick, we were tired, we were like, but we still came into work, and I just saw her still grinding it, staying till 8, working on Saturdays, staying late. With Enrique's contest, she just stays. I forgot what time we stayed till, but it was just something where we really gave it our all. And I hear the saying sometimes where people say, well, we all have the same 24 hours. But I don't think you should ever tell that to a mom. And it's very rare that people hear, you guys do, but they're very rare for you guys to be able to inspire me. But that's something Mari did to me last month. So let's get it from Mari for just an incredible month. All right, let's hear from Mari one more time. Congratulations.
Thank you. I think just coming to work with the mentality of I always doubted myself. I always doubted myself in a way where I never thought I was going to be the top 3. So last month I made that change, even though I made other months top 3. But last month was like, I want to be number 1. I want to be number 1. I hit, third place, second place, and then first place. And just staying on top, I was like, no, I got to stop doubting myself. Like, I'm a chingona. I got this. Like, my husband kept repeating me. He's like, why don't you believe yourself? Like, you're a chingona. You got this. Like, you're going to make it whether you stay in the, as long as you stay in the top 3, like, you're good. And I think that's what helped me so much, just to come in with the mentality of I'm gonna come to work and grind and do whatever I can to stay at the top 3. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
No, great job. It's so powerful to have somebody tell you that,
Yes.
you know, believe in you. So I'm gonna tell you guys all, everybody here, you guys are chingonas. If that works, I'll tell you guys. All right, guys. Second place, most premium, Enrique Bobby. The man with many nicknames. So he's back, all right? 100% attendance, 2 Saturdays, first in retention, 99% retention, first in text message, 939, first in quotes, 167%, first in win-loss percentage, second in policy sold only by a half, 44.5, second in broker fees total, 6,000, second in broker fee average, 210, and 27% closing ratio. With all those quotes having a high closing ratio is what you get to 91,000. You look at this number, but we all know that he's done this before. You know, so it could be unbelievable. At the same time, it's really not because he's done it before. I think there's a couple differences this month though, because previous months where he's done it was he mixed in a couple commercial policies. You know, or some months he did tremendously well. He had some nice life policies. This month was just strictly, right, I think all personal lines. And I think that's important to know because that's some mindset that sometimes maybe we get into like, oh, we gotta write out a lot of different type of policies to have big months. Like, no, you could, even though some people may tell you like you can't kill it in personal lines, you can kill it in personal lines. So that was great to see. And more than the numbers, I would say what I'm most happy or proud of is really the shift of attitude when it comes to change. You know, arguably, when we lost farmers, you could say it impacted him the most. If I go back to last year and see, you know, farmers premium, commercial policies, life policy, who wrote the most farmers policy, it was Enrique. You know, we actually had a little talk, you know, before coming back, joining us back. We were like, hey, like, what do you think's gonna happen? Because, you know, I can't guarantee, like, you know, we might lose a carrier. It was kind of like a little foreshadowing there. I didn't think it was our biggest one, but I was like, what's gonna happen if you lose a carrier or a commission cuts happen with them? And I can't really, like, you know, guarantee because changes continue to happen. And he said, hey, I'm so much more ready for changes now. And when farmers happened, and he came up here during the Independence Celebration Contest, and for him to say what he said, and just his attitude when it comes to like things changing, and just him being so adaptable, because we already know he's extremely consistent. Now that he has this positive attitude towards change, I truly feel there's nothing can stop him now. And we couldn't have his best month ever without Enrique coming back. So I just want to say thank you it's great. It's a great thing to see people adapt and change, and that's something that you've done. And I'm really excited to see you take it to a whole nother level. So let's get for Enrique.
Well, I mean, all I can really say is just having a goal. That's really what it is at the end of the day. I wanted to do 100K, you know, but I mean, at least I got close to it. So I always like to shoot for a higher number. That way I'm at least close to it. And yeah, just be consistent and adaptable.
Yeah, that's at the end. That's right. Yeah, have high goals. You know, it's like just and then see what you end up with. I didn't go over his numbers here, but baller status obviously okay, plus the team bonus, so that puts him at 9%. So he made $7,400 in commission. So add that to his base, and he made $10,800 last month. So let's go one more time. Alrighty, guys. So the moment we've been waiting for here, agent of the month. Or the moment someone's been waiting for. Let's go for Alexis here, 100K. Third agent in the history of our agency to reach 100K. Okay, Laura did it multiple times. Enrique did it once. This is the first time Alexis has done it, the 100K club. Second time agent of the month this year. 4 straight months in the top 3. 101% attendance, 3 Saturdays, okay, which is super helpful for us. First in phone calls, 594. First in broker fee average, 218. Second in phone hours. I told Eileen, who prepares this, like, only put people if they're in the top 3, but it's like, it's very long still. Second in phone hours, second in broker fees, second in retention, second in win-loss ratio, third in policy sold, 35, third in text messages, third in overall quotes, 27% closing ratio, and 3 5-star reviews. So this is a whole new level here. So he got to the baller status 8.5. He has 2 referrals, Mari and Enrique, and then the team bonus. So that adds up to what percent?
10%.
10%. 10% bonus at 100K. 7K in premium. Okay, add that to $1,000 in broker fee. He made $11,600 last month. Let's give it up for that. Okay. So yeah, one of the best things about this job is to really be able to see people change. You know, they say it's really difficult to have people change, but it's just a beautiful part of it is to see where someone came from or what their baseline skill level is. And one of the things I will say about Alexis is that the first time we had that sales training, he was the one that was like, review me, what's my score? Like he had a lot of interest in it. And ever since that point, it just seems like the skill level and the closing ratio and the activity level, and it just makes us feel so good because we really work hard to develop those type of things. And for somebody to really accept the training, and that takes humility too, but also enthusiasm towards change. And as the world changes, that's something that we have to have as an identity as a whole team. With new information comes, how are we going to use this to help our agency? As world becomes faster, how are we going to adapt faster? And that's something he's leading by example, especially in the independent celebration meeting. He came up here and told us how excited he is. You know, that energy of enthusiasm is something every high performing successful team needs. So leading the way when it comes to attitude with change and just having a positive attitude about our future is something I truly appreciate. So let's get up for Alexis for Agent of the Month, 100K Club.
That's correct. All right. Well, thankful to be here once again. Just getting to this level, it's. I was just thinking as you were speaking, like how many times Laura did it. So she knows I look up to her. But as I'm doing the work, I'm like, damn, it took this much work to get to this. So I just my level of respect is there. Enrique, like, damn, like, nonstop, and nothing, like, never retracting from my workload, like. Whatever I have now, I can do it, and I will continue doing it. But just the level of respect I have for you, Laura, and for you, Dan, like your adaptability and your sometimes certain things that you said in the past, it took a while for me to get like process. Like, okay, I get what he was coming from, even though I didn't agree with it at the time. But just things start clicking in now. My motivation, obviously, having a child now, it's like. There's non-negotiable. I have to work and just prepare for the future, whatever it might be. And also, I think not getting high off of my win and not thinking it's going to be the best. I don't feel content right now. Like, I want to save this feeling, be happy with it, but I know I'm going to do it next month again and continue doing it. And everyone can do it. And I think personal momentum is special because Mari had it. And she continued closing. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I didn't think I was going to get close to her because, well, the policies that I had, they're pretty big, right? They helped me. But her constant selling, I was like, wow, it's impressive. But the thing about having momentum, and you had it last month, but you just continue, the confidence that you have it in your voice and everything, you just close. That's your mentality in the day. So there's individual momentum, but there's group momentum. I think if everyone has the same mentality, like we can all reach a better goal and even higher commission. And if you ever introduce more commission structures, I mean, I welcome that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good way to end, right?
No, yeah, I'll think about that one. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that was great stuff you said there. You know, momentum is very powerful, you know, and sometimes you have it, you just have to like kind of keep that, like you don't want to lose it. And sometimes, you know, you need to take a little break, but how fast can you get that going again? You know, sometimes it takes a little while to get the momentum going. So when you take a break, come back, you know, one day, building that momentum right back up, that's a real skill. And yeah, I have a huge fear of losing momentum sometimes that actually makes me not want to stop, you know, at least not cut it off that much, you know, little breaks here and there. But that was a great thing he said, how power of momentum really carries over to next month. And that with that right attitude, you're going to keep putting those higher numbers. And the better we do, you know, the better we're all going to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to point out too that
Let's hear from Laura. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Let's hear from Laura. Thank you for our best month ever. And like Alexis said, there's so much respect because now he knows what it takes to get these numbers. And I love that about our team here is that when someone does well, it really inspires others. Like, wow, that's incredible. That's crazy. You could do that here. I could do that here. Laura has showed us how to do it here in the past, and that's something that is very healthy as a team environment to have high-performing individuals here.
Yeah, so I also just want to kind of point out, Alexis is part of my morning huddle team, and I know that everyone that's in my team can agree with me when I say that he brings in that energy and tries to instill that confidence within you. And I feel like that's something that we can all have, like that quality of having like friendly competition and not getting into like a negative mindset while in competition with somebody else, right? Because eventually that is something that we can't change in people, is their mental state or the way that they're thinking, and sometimes that can affect your work. So I do want to give a shout out to Alexis for always being supportive. In that way, I was gone for a week and he handled the morning huddles great. And yeah, I think that if you're part of a morning huddle team, whether it's mine, Dan's, or his Beatty's, be that person that motivates the other person next to you, because that does go a long way. Even if it's like, again, friendly competition, I'm gonna come after you, Diana. I'm gonna get you, or like I'm going to, and even though Mari was in our team, I'm gonna pass Mari. I'm gonna pass Mari. Always having that like mentality of like wanting to reach a certain level, not necessarily because they want to brag about it, but just because it's a motivation. Like seeing somebody on top is a motivation for you to get to that level. So yeah, so congratulations to you guys, top 3. Marika's not in here, but yeah, I hope that this month you're on pace for an even better month. So let's get it. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Laura.